IRL maxing is the new meta. It is the new meta. You have to be doing it. You have to be doing it. I can't stress that. You see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 years ago, I probably would never even be speaking about this because we would just be doing it as human beings. But I'm going to explain to you in this video why we've lost the art of IRL maxing. We don't know what it means to be IRL maxing, to be actually just human beings. There's all these terms. Retard maxing, I've heard. There's looks maxing, a lot of these maxing terms. Now I'm coming up with a new one, IRL maxing, but I really don't want IRL maxing to be this like new profound philosophy of how to navigate modern society, because that's where I think retard maxing is great. This idea of like being a retard, as in like just not caring and just not giving in to so much of this nonsense and this analytical things that don't serve you, of like just, even if you think it's serving you, the fact of you just like constantly thinking about different things and that just soaking up your mind is actually causing more harm than good. And that's why retard maxing comes in, to just like not care enough and just like do whatever you want and be spontaneous. But as I said in the previous videos, retard maxing, in my opinion, it has its limits. It's something I don't want to be always doing. I don't recommend someone to just be always having this philosophy. I think there's times when the complete other spectrum of living is actually serving you, where you're not a retard, you're actually like disciplined, paying attention to things, learning a ton, maybe being analytical, and that has its purpose. But you see, IRL maxing, to me, IRL maxing is just a way of living. It's a way of combining the being and the doing. So I talk about this a lot, of like there's the being and there's the doing, right? And I think a lot of us are caught up in the doing more than the being, but we're human beings, not human doings, right? So I think IRL maxing comes to this idea that we're all puzzle pieces, right? If you're trying to build a puzzle, like God is the creator of this puzzle, you could say, and we're all individual puzzle pieces. We have our own individual angles, our own curves, and it's not going to fit. The puzzle's not going to work if we're all the same. So IRL maxing is about really just like getting to your true essence, your true core of who you are, right? Discovering your true puzzle piece. Because if you try to replicate someone else's puzzle piece, it's just not going to work, right? Magnets that are both the same charge, they don't attract. It's opposite charges, right? Positive and negative, right? If you want to attract the right partner, you can't be the feminine. You can't be in the feminine unless the partner's in the masculine. But you can't be your partner, or else just become friends. It'd be sexual chaos. You need to be able to embody the polarity. And I think that's, again, what IRL maxing is. It's about embodying your true essence, not needing constant validation, not borrowing status, and being in the moment, being present. There's many layers about IRL status, or IRL maxing. Maybe in a future video, I'll break it down, like from a more structured version of what it entails. Because I've been living like this for a long time. This is my whole mission, is the IRL experience. It's this idea of being who you are, embodying that, and then attracting the right people that are also embodying their own truth. And then you gravitate those people, and then it just collectively builds something beautiful, something that you can never even imagine, a mission way greater than you. IRL maxing starts as you, as an individual, finding your own truth, but then from there, it's very much of a collective approach, right? It can't be an individual mission, it's a community. And in order to build community, you got to build the community first in order to have a community. In other words, you got to find your right people to then build something greater. And I learned the hard way of building community on my own before, is that you can't do that on your own. You can, but it only goes so far. When you have the foundation, the structure, the people in charge that are leading the tribe, it's only then that you could actually progress into something far beyond you could ever imagine. But IRL maxing, before getting to that point, I think that's another layer to IRL maxing, is like once you've actually understood what it means to be IRL maxing, then you find other people that are also doing it. But before we get there, it's about the foundation, the layers of like understanding the phone is poison, social media is poison. I am on the phone right now, but it's something that I'm doing to create. So I think you had to ask yourself, why am I on social media? It's distracting. How could I gain more truth in who I am? So I would recommend probably doing a little bit of mushrooms or meditating a lot or doing what you feel like your soul gravitates towards. If I were to like really break down IRL maxing and like, synthesize all the ideas together into one, the true essence is your essence. It's your soul's purpose. It's to be in alignment with your soul. You have your mind, your ego that wants to do all kinds of things, wants to make all kinds of money, wants to be able to like be the best, lead something else, whatever it may be. And I think that's very valuable. And there's a reason why we have the ego. But you got to be aligned with your soul. So you make the money, you do these materialistic things that serves your ego. But in reality is like it's serving a way deeper purpose, much bigger and grandiose than yourself, than your ego, than anything you can even fathom. That is IRL maxing. So I know this sounds a little bit abstract because it is abstract. I think IRL maxing is just a way of living. It's there's not like one philosophy to adopt. There's a structure you could definitely implement, but at the end of the day, it's like your own truth. So IRL maxing is your own puzzle piece. It's something that you got to discover on your own. But I can point you in the right direction, which is why I'm making this video, is that if you just adopt this philosophy, if I'm going to IRL max, I'm going to stop. It's, you could say it's a combination of retard max. You can say, I'm going to stop caring about these things. I'm going to stop giving in to these lies. I'm going to stop paying attention to things that don't serve me. I'm going to be in the moment. I'm going to be in real life. You can't be IRL maxing by being on your computer all day and, having community online. I talk about this quite often, that like online community is garbage. The word community has been thrown out the window. Like it's been tossed around and just recycled over and over. Join my community, join this community. Discord's not community, school's not community. This community happens in person. Happens right now, right here with me. So if you're watching this video, you're not a part of my community. I may start a community on YouTube or school community, but like that's not really my community. It is and it's not. It's a surface level community. And I'll be deluding myself, deluding you to thinking that it's like an actual true community, a true sense of belonging, because it's not. It only goes so far. It almost tricks your mind. It tricks your primal brain to thinking that you should be satisfied with this like false sense of a tribe, because that's what it does. That's what online internet does. You feel heard, you feel like you're part of something, and you are a part of something, but you're part of the fake world. The new world, the real world, is here. It's now. So if you're with me in Guatemala, like you're part of my world, you're part of the tribe, and we're IRL maxing together, right? We have our own purpose, we have our own destiny, we have our own mission, and we can synergize and come up with ideas that align with all of us, all of our souls, into this one amazing mission that, again, we can't fathom. But you got to be able to gather the people that are IRL maxing, because it is the new meta. There's a fake world, there's a real world. I've talked about this before. And as we progress and get into the future, you'll notice that it's going to be even more clear what's real, what's fake. Which people are opting into the real world and which people are just staying docile and compliant and just being in the fake world. And fake world used to be okay. I think we were okay with social media at one point. We were okay with Facebook. We were okay with Snapchat. But then it's a combination of us becoming more aware and conscious, and just things fully getting more extreme. Like your average Joe is a conspiracy theorist, is someone who's like questioning things, the Epstein files, questioning what's real, what's fake. Like we've never been in a time in history where there's more people that are awake. And again, this is the law of duality, that there's, whatever is on one side is on the other side too, like a pendulum. It just constantly, swings back and forth. So as much as I think that there's so many people out there that are IRL maxing, they just, maybe don't call it that, but they're doing it. They're doing what I preach. Those people are out there, and you got to find those people in your community to connect with, to talk with, to chat with, to brainstorm with, and create your own thing that's driven by your IRL maxing philosophy, you could say. But I don't think you have to call it IRL maxing. This is why, like, I don't want to be this person to Like, this is very much an ego thing to be like, oh, I coined irlmaxxing, and you got to be using irlmaxxing. It's like, you got to be able to develop your own way of living, your own irlmaxxing, but then you don't need to call it irlmaxxing. Irlmaxxing is a means to an end, not an end to a mean. I think everything is a means to an end. Any philosophy, any idea, any way of living is a means to an end. Now, granted, I think it's a really, like, to live like this is a very noble way of living, and it's very much commendable. But you got to live your life the way you want to live your life. So it's just a little something to think about. How can I be more in the moment, IRL maxing? And we hear the word IRL again. These terms get thrown around so much, right? Like, it's like modern society uses the same terms to screw around with us. Like the idea of aura. Aura is a word that's like so powerful, but yet modern society uses it in a way where it's like not important. It's just something that means nothing. There's a kid that goes by. Modern society coins it as a term that just basically is like a meme, right? Memes are like poison. Memes don't make sense to me. But anyways, what I was saying was that IRL, like, you hear like IRL streams, all these people that are on stream doing things. It's like, that's not IRL. They're IRL, but they're not really IRL, if that makes sense. They're not in real life. IRL has layers. It's just a word. So IRL maxing is a feeling that you have to be able to actually experience yourself and not just say, oh, IRL maxing, right? So you got to live by it. Live by your truth. And then from there, you won't feel a need to be able to say, oh, I'm IRL maxing. You're just going to be doing it. You're going to be being it. It's a combination of doing and being. So I hope you resonate with this one. It's been a interesting talk. This is one of the most interesting topics that I'm fascinated about and passionate about. And I want to talk about this more, about IRL maxing, about my mission of IRL maxing, of being in person and building tribes and community and all that. So if you resonate with that, let me know. Comment down below. If you want to be a part of that, just, shoot me a message. And there's a link down below as well to book a call with me if you want to have a chat about this or about whatever it may be, to collaborate, to work together. I'm all for that. Yeah, that's a wrap for this video. And as always, much love, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.